Hello and welcome, I'm Mystical, this is Mystical Gaming, and today I wanted to go through all things healer orientated. Realistically, how to build a healer. I'm not going to build a healer in this video. I'm just going to go over a few things you should look at when building a healer and selecting a healer, and what sort of things you should look for and what they do that's different and what divides them up. So this is all healers in the game. The ones that are brighter than the ones that are doled out are the ones I have, and the ones doled out are the ones I haven't. Now, to start with, let's chuck an honourable mention out to two healers that aren't really healers. They act more as support orientated people. So that is Autumn and that is Dolores. Now, Autumn is brought along to supply a crit rate and crit damage buff to your party, whereas Dolores is brought into the party to supply from her ultimate the inspiration buff. Now that increases the attack of all the party members by a proportion of her attack. So they aren't built for healing, they're built to supply these buffs or abilities to the rest of your party. So they're not strictly healers in the popular sense of the phrase. So you wouldn't build them out to build a healer. However, bear in mind that they are the only two healers in their faction, so you may require them when you push on later in faction wars or faction trials, sorry. So once we discount Autumn and Dolores and we get rid of the 2 and 3 star healers, that leaves us 17 healers left in the game. Now they can be broken down realistically into two categories: attack based healers and HP based healers. Now this is a stat that they heal off of. So that's the attack based healers in one little lump, and there are our 4 remaining HP based healers. So check your healer before you start using them. Are they HP based? Are they attack based? You just want to quickly know, because when they're healing they will use that base stat as what they're using to heal the target with. They use that, they use the target's HP, and then they add in healing effect. Now I did a full video on healing effect yesterday. I'll link that at the end if you want to go and check it out if you have any questions about healing effect. But essentially, healing effect offers diminishing returns. I wouldn't use it as a main stat, but I would make sure my gear has got some healing effect in there as a substat. Now lastly, the other way healers are broken down is in the way they heal. So you'll either have a single target healer, an AoE healer, or there are a few healers that sit in the middle that are sort of multi-target. So they would do, it would say in the description of their attack or their heal, it would say, for example, we'll heal 3 allies within range. So they're not AoE, they're not single target, they fit this like niche little spot in the centre. Now there is a use for them as well, so we'll have a quick look at the pros and cons of these as well. Okay, so we've got a group of champions. We're going to chuck them into the guild boss and we'll see how they heal and who gets what healing, that sort of stuff. Okay, so it's just a bit of a visual representation over it. Now we're going to start off with Vortex. Now he's a single target healer, so we'll put down some DPS to attack the guild boss in, and we'll put some ranged in. Then the boss will attack and we'll see him swipe everyone, and everyone will take some damage. And then we can have a look at how Vortex actually heals. So there's the damage. Now there's Vortex heal. Now we've got to wait for his next ability to come around, or his next turn for attack, and then he will heal again. Boss has given us some more damage. There's a Vortex heal. We wait another couple of seconds. There's another heal, and he's only healing one person at a time, even though there's the boss again, more damage. And now every couple of seconds he's just chucking out that one big heal. Okay, much the same as before, we chuck down our DPS and our tanks and our ranged attackers, that sort of stuff, and let the boss attack us. But this time we're going to chuck down Sadie. Now Sadie is an AoE healer, so she will heal everyone in one go. So as soon as the boss does his damage, there goes Sadie, and she heals everyone back up in one go. The only thing is the heal is a lot less than you get from a single target. So a single target does one big heal, then there's a break. An AoE healer will do everyone, but the heal is much smaller. So you've got to sort of weigh up the pros and the cons of your healers and know what you're looking for when you pick your healer. Now lastly we have the multi-healers. So it was saying their skill set will heal 3 allies in range. So here she is, put her down and she'll heal 3 allies in range. So here's the boss's attack. He's going to hit all 5 people, but we're going to hit 3 people for more than you get with an AoE heal, less than you get for a single target heal. You have this nice sort of safe ground in the middle, for want of a better phrase. So there she goes, healing everyone up. Now, as you can see, this works out quite well and is probably quite fitting for certain scenarios like the guild boss. So everyone does get some form of healing, and it's a bit quicker to cycle through to make sure everyone gets some healing. Now here's Vortex, one of the best healers in the game. Now, reason is, firstly, he's an epic, so he's much easier to skill up and actually get his awakenings all done. And secondly, the chances of you getting him are much greater. Now, for me, what I did in the game is I leveled my first Vortex, and my second Vortex I used for the Abomination fusion. And then the other ones I started booking out his awakenings to get them done. So as we can see, Vortex is an HP based single target healer. So we will stack him full of HP based stuff as a main stat on the right hand side, and on the left hand side we will stick him in a life force set, which gives us another 25% HP. And then we'll put him back into the guild bots, and we'll have a look at the heals and what happens in the fight with Vortex. Now the other advantage with Vortex is his range. It's absolutely massive, and there are only a few healers with range actually that big. So we've assessed our healer is HP based, and we've put HP gear on him to give him big heals. There's some healing effect in there possibly, and we're just going to make sure that he can heal the amount of damage coming in. So when the boss does some damage to someone, can Vortex do enough healing to cover it? So there he goes, and there's easily enough healing there going on to cover the damage from the boss. The only problem is the boss is going to keep attacking, and eventually, because we can't heal everyone fast enough back up, the boss will overpower us. But the first part of this thought process you have to go through is, can I cover the initial damage? The answer to this is yes, but can I put out enough heals? Probably not. So if we bring our healer back in and re-gear them, now this time we'll go to the other extreme. We'll take off his gear and we will max out attack speed. Now what this would do is this will shorten down the break between each heal that our healer does. So instead of waiting 3 seconds between every heal, we're now going to wait a lot less than that as we start pushing out our attack speed as much as we possibly can. Now that also leads us into the left hand side. I wouldn't be so fussed or worry about it too much if you end up on the left hand side not putting a salvation set on there, or not putting a life force set on there, but putting a whirlwind set on there to give yourself an extra boost to attack speed. As long as you're getting those heals come in fast enough. If you see now, we've taken off 1.5 seconds of our attack speed. So instead of attacking every 3 seconds, we're attacking every 1.5 seconds now. So we'll now be pushing out twice as many heals as we did before. Now the healing won't be as big or as large because we've shortened down the amount of HP that we've got, but what we will be doing is pushing out the heals much quicker. So here's the boss's attack, and then we can start to see Vortex's healing. There's one, so there's another heal. You see these heals are now coming another one much quicker. This time he's healed everyone back round by the time the boss has their attack. Damage, heal, 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 and then it's the boss's attack again, but everyone is back to full health. Everyone takes some damage, and now Vortex is back round again. So this is what I mean. You have to make sure you can do enough healing to cover the damage, and do it quickly enough to make sure you can get everyone healed up. So with this in mind, when you're building your healers, you want to know if you're taking an AoE healer who generally do small heals, whether you can make their heals big enough to heal everyone and overcome the damage that's incoming, or whether you can make a single target healer heal fast enough to make sure they can still do big enough heals to heal everyone before the next wave of damage comes in. Now this is quite subjective because it depends how well you've built your other champions who are out on the field of battle, and the amount of damage they're taking. So if you've got some very tanky units, the healers have to do less work. However, if you've got a glass cannon out there, the healers are going to have to do a massive amount of work to overcome the glass cannon's defensive capabilities. So this is all a bit subjective to what you can do with your account. Now, where are we going to use our healers and what healers do we want to use? Let's go and have a look at the gear rates. So when we look at the gear rates, our healers may bring in other abilities that we're looking for. So when we look at gear rate 1, it's Dolores who's running up there. Now remember, she mostly buffs, and also as another healer up there, it's Hollow. So what people are doing is they want this rage regen coming round. So not only the healing effect that they give, but also, more importantly, the buffing of the party from Dolores and the amount of rage regen they can get round to get their ultimates back off. That's what they're relying on the healers that they've got going in for gear raid 1. Now as we look at gear raid 2, this is much more healer based. So remember that you've got this sandstorm that deals out constant damage, and you've also got the big hit from the boss. So people like to take Sadie because she offers damage mitigation, and the other thing people like to take is a shield, because that shield will cover you when you take 150% of your damage. So this is why some healers in here are really good. So Sadie for the damage mitigation. Midan is really good because she's healing multiple allies. Now when you're taking constant damage, remember your single target healers are going to heal one person at a time, which isn't great when you're taking constant damage going into big AoE damage. So multi-healers come out quite well. Vortex gets used quite a bit as well because of his shield ability, and that's what he's being used for. You can see Midan's there, she's being used not for the dispelling, but she's going to increase defense. So everyone will take less damage. So go careful on the healers you picked, and don't forget to use the guides because they're there and you can see what other lineups have been used. Smoothing gear raid 3, again it's not really a healing type fight, it's more of a damage fight and a DPS race. So what people are doing is taking healers in there to provide that small amount of healing that you're required to do, but mostly taking in the other stats thereafter. So Dolores comes in again but as a support, and then you'll see Hollow is down there again, Eloin is down there again, and Leia is down there as well, and these are all this rage regen keeps coming around again. So when you're building healers like that, you may want to think about adding a little bit of rage regeneration into their kit as well, so you've got their ultimates coming around so they can power up everyone else's ultimates within your fight timetable. And that's sort of again down to you to have a look at how your fight is going. So hopefully you found this guide helpful into how to actually sort of gear out healers. If you have, please drop us a thumbs up, a like and a subscribe. Any other questions about healing, feel free to drop it in the comments below. I will get back to you, or if you want some play testing done, give me a shout. I am more than happy to do that. And I'll see you all in a video again soon. Thank you very much for your time. Good night.